Alright everyone, welcome back to Doli, Incapax, and me, myself, and Turnabout. We are at the second part of the first trial, and it's gonna be fully loaded any moment now. Hopefully. It's at 97% loading sounds of music. I could click here to start before everything is fully loaded, but I'd rather not break the game potentially. Yeah, that certainly didn't take forever, jeez. Court has now reconvened. Mr. Corpus, I presume you've prepared a witness to testify. Prepared? Me? I am not a meal, I'm a museum curator. My name is Lady Victorian, and I'm a curator. Pleasure to meet you all. As you can see, Your Honor, the witness is quite easily offended. Could you please speak carefully? Of course. My apologies, witness. I said my name is Victorian. Have you forgotten? Miss Victorian, you are aware as to why you've been brought to the stand, aren't you? That's Miss Victorian. My husband passed long ago. But yes, I am aware. You have nothing to accuse me of anything, stupid woman. If you're so confident that you wouldn't mind saying that on the record. I just did! Utter stupid woman. Witness, please stop referring to the defense as stupid. Now, please testify as to your innocence. Taking down a veteran lawyer. This will truly be a beautiful moment for me. She really is rude. I'm not a murderer. Don't let her lies get through to you. There are so many reasons I didn't do this. Just think about it. I wouldn't have broken the case if I was the thief. I had the key. And I'm a curator, not a nurse. I need an accomplice to get a reflex hammer. Plus, my hoof prints weren't the ones found on it, were they? Frankly, if a lady like you can get an attorney's badge, I feel sorry for the justice system. Witness, I thought I told you not to insult the defense team. You said not to call them stupid, and I didn't. Please, is this point relevant? Your Honor, the witness clearly misunderstood you. Can you really blame such a beautiful woman? Wow, old people? Really, Habeas? I suppose I can let it pass. Just once, Miss Incapax. Please start with your cross-examination. These all seem like good reasons, but maybe one of them has a weakness somewhere? Means pressing all over the place, that's what it means. Please leave your insults out of your testimony. I will insult you if I want. You were so disrespectful to me yesterday. Showing up late for a legal meeting. Who does that? I was late by 1 minute. You've probably wasted 10 more with this irrelevant dialogue. Can we please move on? Of course. It doesn't take a genius to see why I'm innocent. Obviously, the case was broken by accident. Yes, I accidentally smashed it with a reflex hammer I just happened to have. Don't make me laugh. Well, I suppose those are a few fair points. The best part is, there are more. My, I have such wonderful evidence. It's too bad you don't have a personality to match. How much do you think a reflex hammer costs? A couple bits at most? I'm not saying I couldn't get one. I'm saying there's no point to using one. Why wouldn't I just use a hammer? Or even a rock? I can find rocks easy enough. And I had no reasons to specifically need a reflex hammer. Why would I need an accomplice? So why would I need an accomplice? My goodness, I completely screwed up this phrase. How about we change our line of thought for a minute? Do you have much more proof? Anyone could not leave their prints on a reflex hammer. But I couldn't have left his hoof prints, now could I? Honestly, Your Honor, I couldn't have left someone else's print on something. Agreed, Miss Incapax, the witness's claims stand. This is still strange to me. Is the point worth pursuing? It probably is, but I'm not done pressing. Alright, Miss Victorian, continue with what you were saying. Your Honor, this statement is nothing but defamation of character. Agreed. Miss Victorian, please watch your words. That's Miss Victorian to you. Great. Not even the judge can get through to her. So do you have anything that can prove her wrong? I don't have any evidence, no, but there has to be a good explanation for all of this. Well, what are you talking about? Why are you talking to me for? You gotta start questioning her. Yeah, I gotta basically follow through. Right here. Might be worth pursuing. It's true that Bits had to have left his hoof prints on the reflex hammer. But that doesn't mean you couldn't have handled it. Even I could cover my hooves with something. Ha! But then Bits' prints would have been wiped off. Silly girl. There's no problem here. All you had to do was take advantage of something at the crime scene. By using this, you could have left his prints on the hammer without leaving yours. Well, I'm pretty sure I have to present the reflex hammer because of the piece of string, right? That's what I'm supposing. I'm gonna try it. Naturally, this is what you had to have used. Please, explain how that would have worked. I'm all ears. So it's not that. Well, I guess that isn't right. Mom, you're thinking too literally. There's no way for her to have done this without wiping prints. So maybe there's some other way around this. Alright, I'm gonna show Bits and Pieces' profile because I think she just took his hoof and put it on the reflex hammer. No? Oh, okay, it is that. Naturally, the thing used was the defendant himself. He was unconscious after the crime. You put Bits' hoof prints on the reflex hammer while he was passed out. The theory seems sound. Lady Victorian, your response? It doesn't need a response. It still doesn't explain why I would break the case. You have nothing to explain why I'd do that. Aren't you so glad I'm here to prove you wrong? Proving me wrong? You've done just the opposite for me. What did you say to me? Why did you break the case? Easy. Okay, we got three choices here. Got you didn't mean to. We got to put blame on Redheart. And 3, to appear innocent. I am kind of wondering which one is the right one. I think I'll guess... You know, I'm kind of curious why to put blame on Redheart is there. So you know what? I'm going to say that even though it's probably really wrong. Easy. You wanted to put all the blame on Nurse Redheart. But wouldn't it make more sense to put the blame on Bits? He was trapped at the crime scene. I guess that makes sense. But that doesn't mean you didn't have any reason. Yeah, so basically... Okay, I thought it would have been a funnier reaction to say to put blame on Redheart. Because it could have been like a reverse psychology or something like that, but I guess not. Anyway, what I really wanted to guess was to appear innocent. This testimony is the exact reason you wanted to break the case. You could open the case with your key, so breaking the case makes it look like someone else did it. Ah! Doli, that's insane! Do you have anything to support this theory whatsoever? Is there anything to suggest my theory is false? The evidence agrees with this theory completely. This is ludicrous! Ridiculous! There's nothing to back up your claims whatsoever. Evidence may be everything in court, but we need information for it to mean anything. And what better way to get the information we need than by having you testify for us again? I guess you're still too cowardly to accept the fact that I'm innocent, aren't you? Fine then. Probably the last testimony of this day too. I'm fully expecting this second part to be really short. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. I've done nothing wrong here. After all, what would my motive have been? Can you prove I had one? Of course not. I love that necklace. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I'd never do anything to it. And if I did want to steal that necklace, I would wait until night fell and just have used my key. After all, That will create a lot more suspects, and I won't be at the risk of being caught. You should really learn to leave guesswork to actual detectives, silly lawyer. I'm sorry, that testimony was meant to be a joke, right? That was a horrible testimony. What's she thinking? My testimony is perfect, I know. I hope you'll finally understand. Well, chop chop, no reason to just sit around wasting time. Maybe she's finally run out of good excuses? There are at least 2 glaring problems. All of the evidence you've presented has been flimsy at best. How can you say that? The evidence of my guilt is also flimsy. Learn to be reasonable, silly filly. Hey Mom, can I punch her? Many times. No violence in court, XC. How many times do I need to tell you this? When you're done being idiots, keep my motive in mind. You know, I'm wondering, am I actually gonna have to prove like 2 things wrong here? Like, it's gonna be like one after the other. It happened once or twice in the Ace Attorney series. Even if you were to prove you had one, would you listen to the evidence? Do you have any evidence in the first place? I thought not. Besides, I really do care about the emeralds. You're a museum owner, and you think it's one of the most beautiful things you've ever seen? The craftsmanship and size of the emeralds. It's unmatched. It's perfect. Other people deserve to see its beauty. She really loved it that much, huh? How could this change her testimony? Wait until night, you say? There were so many witnesses around during the day, it would be much easier to steal at night. That's a good point. Why wouldn't she steal it at night? And why were you talking at the same time as you were voicing your thoughts, Doli? Yeah, I think this is an error. Or maybe she is like supposed to be thinking things, but the person accidentally forgot to make Doli not speak her thoughts out. Yeah, figures. Anyway, maybe another look at the court record will give me some idea. How do you mean it would create many more suspects? If I stole it during the day, there would be a smaller time frame for someone to steal it. But if I did it at night, then there would be a time span of hours. There would be many suspects. I'm a smart mare, unlike some ponies in the room. I would be smart about this. But would that really have been smarter? You know, I'm starting to piece things together here. Well, Bibi's autopsy does mention that she died in the morning, but the way Victorian is spelling out her testimony here, it makes it sound like she really did it at night. You do know that my daughter is a detective, correct? Just barely one, I'm guessing. Shouldn't you leave guesswork to actual detectives, lady? Wow, this testimony. This doesn't work at all. What are you waiting for? Point out those contradictions already. Well, I think I need to present the Hemlock Queen's emeralds at this dialogue right here just because of the next one. She says that she loves the necklace. Therefore, motive. That's what I think, anyway. Yep. You should really learn to leave arguing to actual lawyers, silly lady. What did you just say to me? Think back to what you just said in your testimony. I love that necklace. It's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Or something like that. Thanks for adding that. That right there's your motive for the theft. Ah! The reason you stole the necklace is simply because of how much you loved it. It's just too bad that you didn't respect your murder victim as much. Your Honor, how are you letting this go? She's accusing a vulnerable witness. The prosecution agrees. I believe a penalty is in order. The defense's comment was certainly made in bad taste. However, the defense's point stands. Lady Victorian, a clear motive has been given to you. Of course it has. I'll just have to remove that stupid statement from my testimony, won't I? But as long as it was done during the day, well, you have no good reason to suspect me. I suppose that's true. Please, may we return to your testimony? And you thought you had me, stupid lady. Okay, so that part that I just proved wrong, now she removed it. So now I have to prove the other part wrong, and I'll like finish the whole thing. Yeah, cool. That's cool. I like that things are a bit changed up here, even though there's practically no real punishment for failing anyway. Okay, so I just did a whole bunch of guessing. It is a tougher testimony than it looks like, despite how our characters keep saying it's so obvious and has so many problems. But what you're supposed to present here, right at this sentence, is Bibi's key. I took quite a bit of guessing for me to figure this out. I mean, seriously. From the moment I first accused you of this, I've been thinking the same thing as you. So, I thank you. Things are completely clear now. See? You have to admit I'm innocent eventually. That's not what I meant. I mean, thank you for solving this problem for me. The important thing to keep in mind here is the master keys used to unlock and unlock the gates. Yes, it is a gorgeous key, isn't it? I wish I could keep it for myself. Is there something wrong with how the key looks, Mr. Incapax? Not at all, Your Honor. But keep in mind, you need a key to open the case the necklace was in. That is to say, the keys only you and the guards had, Lady Victorian. But what if the case wasn't unlocked, but broken on the day the museum was open to the public? Stealing the key at night would only cast suspicion onto you. But what does that mean? All you've proven is that I was wrong earlier. But that's exactly the point, Victorian. The proof you've given us of your innocence is wrong. I'm not sure if I follow, Doli. Can you explain things for me? The defense's point stands. Lady Victorian, please remove the statement from your testimony. The defense's point stands. But don't think this is enough to prove your case. After all, you still haven't explained why I stole the necklace, silly filly. You still don't get it, do you, Victorian? Don't get it? What is there to get? As long as my testimony is still good, you can't suspect me. Or something to that degree. Meanwhile, we've proven your testimony completely wrong. Lady Victorian, your proof of innocence only explained your movements even more. I beg you, please stop. Lady Victorian, I want to thank you for bringing up these points. I've been wondering about them. You tried stealing the necklace simply because you wanted it for yourself. You stole it during the day to create more suspects. And you broke the case to cast suspicion away from yourself. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? What do you have to say for yourself? You did this and that to cast the blame. You've done a bang up job coming up with the how and why. The problem is that you can't prove it! Can't prove it? What did you just do to your neck? You've told us how I might have done this, and what I could have done whatever. But without proof, you don't have anything on me. But we don't have any evidence. Stop making that face. Of course you don't. You need to learn to gather actual evidence, Miss Incapax. Agreed, Miss Incapax. Do you have any evidence that can prove Lady Victorian's guilt? Well, I'm pretty sure I don't have the evidence. The defense doesn't have any evidence to show. Then this whole testimony has been for nothing. Without evidence, your story doesn't hold water. Now, if there's nothing more you wish to discuss, we need to dismiss the witness. The defense concedes that there's no evidence against Lady Victorian. but the defense still wishes to talk to the witness about something else. Mom, what are you doing? We can't move on if we don't have any proof. But maybe if we keep her here a bit longer, we'll be able to get some more evidence. Very well, Miss Incapax. What do you wish to talk to the witness about? Then we need something else to talk about. Think, Doli, you must have missed something. We just need to stall a little longer. Is there anything else we could ask her about? Well, I got 3 choices here. We got the victim, the murder weapon, and the museum security. You know what? I want to talk about the murder weapon, because it's the Hemlock Queen's emeralds, and she's gonna quack like a duck. Can we get some more information about the murder weapon? Right! That's what she's been fangirling all over this whole time. I suppose I can talk about that gorgeous creation, if you refer to it by its proper name. Your Honor, don't fall for these stalling tactics. This line of questioning is meaningless. Call it what you will. We know nothing about the necklace, and consequently, why it was stolen. The defense's point stands. Lady Victorian, if you would. My pleasure. The Hemlock Queen's emeralds were owned by a queen who killed her court thousands of years ago. But after the castle the queen lived in collapsed, the queen died and the necklace was lost. The necklace was recently rediscovered after a mere 2,000 years. But thanks to this horrible crime, the necklace won't be the same ever again. I suppose this is all just another low point in its tarnished life story. But if you need to know why it may have been stolen, that's simple. It's worth 7 digits. The necklace was owned by a murderer thousands of years ago? Bad luck seems to follow it like a magpie, or another bird of his fortune. And is that the extent of the necklace's history? That is, yes. Are you satisfied? I guess. But where does that leave us? This doesn't tell us much new about the necklace. What else can we gather? Well, just gotta press on. How do we know that this queen killed her court anyway? I just know about the necklace. I don't know anything else about the queen. Miss Incapax, does this queen have anything to do with the current case? I guess it doesn't. Lady Victorian, please continue. How did the necklace survive a castle falling on top of it? That's a wonderful question. You mean you haven't learned the details of it? I have to learn a lot of things about a lot of artifacts, which takes a good amount of time. So I don't have the time to learn every minute detail about everything I come across. Can we just move on, please? Of course. We thought that it had been lost in time, but we had some good luck not too long ago. How did your museum come to own the Hemlock Queen's emeralds? It was a rather large auction not too long ago, in which we managed to buy it. Of course, we paid much more than we'd hoped to, but it was worth it. Someone died from it being purchased, and you consider that worth it? Won't ever be the same? What do you mean by that? Well, I mean that... It just won't be as pure. Yes, that's it. That wasn't convincing at all. Should I press her more? Well, probably gonna have to press further here, but I'm not done with the pressing. I'll just let it go for now. Well, its history is just getting worse and worse, isn't it? Tarnished history? What do you mean by that? Have you forgotten already, silly mare? This is the 3rd death in its history. First, the death of the Queen's court, then the Queen, and now Bibi. That is extremely creepy. Can we talk about something else? Like anything else? That's a good idea. Victorian, do you have any idea why someone would want to have stolen it? But, yeah, 7 digits. 7 digits? All because of its age? Even without its age, the size of those emeralds would put it over 1 million alone. If it weren't for all these murders, it would be flawless. And you'd think money may have been the reason someone tried to steal it. Exactly. I can't think of any other reason. We aren't gonna get anywhere with this. We'll need to ask her a bit more. More importantly, we need to ask questions that will put suspicion back on Lady Victorian. Time to press further. Lady Victorian, you aren't fooling anyone. Why do you think the necklace won't be the same? Are you implying I'm a liar? People of the court, is anyone here convinced what she said is even potentially true? Precisely. So, Miss Victorian, do you want to change your story? Dolly, where are you going with this? Obviously there's something wrong with that necklace, but Lady Victorian refuses to tell us what. So I guess we'll just have to find out what's wrong with it, for ourselves. Interesting. How does the defense propose to do this? If we're gonna find something wrong with it, it'll have to be something physically wrong. Which means we could use that as a reference. The defense will use this to show what's wrong with the Hemlock Queen's emeralds. The brochure? I kind of want to say the brochure because it has an image of the Hemlock Queen's emeralds on it. Let's try it. Yep, yesterday, the witness gave me a brochure with a beautiful picture of the necklace on the cover. Of course it's a beautiful picture. I only hired the best photographers to shoot it for us. And I thank you for doing that. We'll just compare this photo to the necklace itself. Then put your money where your mouth is. You have the necklace in evidence. Alright, I've gone this far. It's all or nothing. Please, point to what part of the photograph on the brochure contradicts the necklace before us. So wait, I have to point to the photograph? On the brochure? Okay, fair enough. Well, there's a clear part missing on the bottom right here. Let's just click it. I have to click on the image. That's it! Everyone, please take a look at this emerald dangling below the main gemstone. Oh, it's very cute. And it's even hanging from a string of pearls. But now, take a look at the necklace we have in front of us. Ugh! This can't be! That's right. The emerald and pearls are missing on the necklace we have in front of us. Lady Victorian, this is why the necklace won't ever be the same, isn't it? No! Dolly, yes, a piece of the necklace is missing. But so what? Easy. Our killer took this piece of the necklace with them. Are you saying our killer tore a string of pearls off of the murder weapon? No, the pearls and emeralds were detachable. But if it's gone, where is it? Again, an easy question. The missing part of the necklace is... with the murderer. Well, there's inside the museum, outside the museum, and with the murderer. Our killer still has this missing string of pearls with them. But that doesn't make sense. All of the suspects must have been searched. In that case, the killer must have disposed of it somewhere. And can you tell us where this somewhere is? Okay, so it's not with the murderer. It has to be, like, inside a museum, I guess. Somewhere? Probably. It would have been found on the killer when they left, so that only leaves us one option. The missing part is still inside a museum. Inside a museum? Mom, the police are thorough. They would notice a random emerald. Of course they would. If it was in a random spot. There's one place where the pendant would be completely overlooked. Remember, the emerald exhibit was searched top to bottom. This piece of the necklace wasn't found. That's not what I'm talking about. There's one other place I have in mind. The court allows this. Please, show us this place with the map in your brochure. This is where our killer hid the missing piece of the necklace. Well, in the pearl exhibit. Because that's where the pearls would go, right? Because it's for pearls, and we checked there, and there were pearls everywhere. Yep, pearl exhibit. It has to be there. If you had to heist a piece of pearl jewelry, wouldn't an exhibit filled with pearls be a great place? You're saying the piece of the necklace was hidden in plain sight? Exactly, Your Honor. And with this piece of information in mind, another problem is revealed. What do you... Ah! I see the prosecution has realized it too. This piece of the necklace is in one of the exhibit's cases. And in order to open one of these cases, you need a key. A key only you could have access to, Lady Victorian. No! No! But Doli, you're assuming the case was unlocked. But what if it wasn't? If it was moved after the gates fell, no one would ever know. We can get into the intricacies later, but those aren't important right now. Our killer was in the pearl exhibit at some point after the murder was committed. But my client was knocked out. He never had a chance to hide any of the piece of the necklace. This leaves us with our suspect being the ponies we knew were in the pearl exhibit that day. Where it's supposed to be with an H here, I think. Maybe. Nurse Redheart was there. Psyche was there. And of course, you were, Lady Victorian. But you were also! Are you saying we should treat you as a suspect? The whole time I was at the museum, I was with you. There was no time for me to do this. The point is, my client is the only pony we can check off as a suspect. At first, I was more than prepared to pass down a verdict on bits and pieces. However, there are too many problems with the prosecution's case for me to pass judgment. A ruling would be premature at this point. Doli, habeas, please look into all the raised matters further. Understood, Your Honor. Yeah, the whole shtick about Ace Attorney games is that you're not supposed to just defend your, the defendant. You're supposed to also, prove who the murderer was. It's always a murderer. So you're both doing the defense and prosecution's job. I'm supposed to click again to skip this cutscene. That is all. For now, court is adjourned. Hey, great job in there, Bits. We've got another day to investigate. You're welcome. And remember, I'm Prose. Oh, Prose? He's another one. Uh-huh. Hey, you said you remember that you blacked out. Do you know what happened? No, I'm pretty sure I was knocked out, like I said. Well, do you have any idea who might have wanted to knock you out? He doesn't want to tell? I guess there's only one way around this. Oh, we have to barter with him? Seriously? He knows. And is even willing to talk? I'm not saying anything. Good luck, Incapax. He knows something about the murder, doesn't he? Why wouldn't he talk unless he's actually involved in this murder? Neat. The suspense rises, or a saying that's kind of like that. Anyway, that was it for the second part of the first trial. Next time we're going to be doing the investigation, the last investigation, and then there's going to be 2 more parts for the second trial. Hope you all enjoyed this video and hope you all have a very nice day. Bye-bye.